Hello everybody, Jason Lawrence here, and today I want to talk about why right now is the best time to become a home builder and start building homes for people, start building spec homes. There's a couple different reasons why. Okay, I'm just going to jump in real quick and talk about the consulting service that I offer. And I've had a few people reach out now. I've got one client that's doing this. There is a monthly fee of $75, and that will cover emails, any information that you need, phone calls. I think a lot of times, especially in the beginning, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. So we can have a phone call. We may spend, as much time as you need to on that first phone call to kind of get things established in your head. And basically, anytime that you've got a question about something or you're in a situation where you don't know what to do, I'm here for you. Number one, the economy is still really good. More specifically, the housing market, at least in my area here, southeastern Wisconsin, and from what I know, same with most of the Midwest and the country as well. We're in mid-July now. Back in early March, I don't know if I would have, I would have been a little more tentative about things, especially if you were just wanting to get started right then and there, because that was the beginning of the coronavirus outbreak. I hate the word pandemic. Outbreak's not much better, but things have still been really good all the way. I had a 6-week time period where I didn't have any new meetings, any new phone calls. And then after about 6 weeks, the phone just started blowing up. Things went back to how they normally were. So that would be reason number one. The housing market is great right now. There is definitely demand for spec homes. There's a lot of people out there who are looking to build homes. I know when we do a spec home, it sells as soon as it is done, if not before that. Now, we can only put up a few spec homes at a time because you do have to have a lot of capital to be able to start a spec home. So that's why in some of my previous videos I've talked about, if you're going to be a home builder, you want to have a mix of both, and you actually want to have more customer homes being built than you do spec homes, unless you've got access to a ton of cash. But everybody's a little leery about just sticking a ton of cash out there, because what if you built 15 spec homes and all of a sudden something did happen where your last 5 spec homes are just sitting there for a year? It's maybe extending yourself a little too much, depending on your financial situation. For most people that are looking to start a home building business, I don't know that they have tons of capital that they can just lay down and start building a ton of spec homes with. But that being said, if you can build one and you pick the right area and you've got the right price point, and you can go back to my videos, I'll put the link in there for how to build a spec home, and that's like a four-part series there. I'll explain how you do that properly. So if you do that, then it should sell no problem, and then you can go on to another one, and while that spec home's being built, you may be meeting people that are coming through the house, and at that time you're starting to and trying to grow yourself as a home builder. So that's kind of where things get started there. But the economy is still really good right now. So there is definitely demand for, if you put up a spec home, there's demand for it and it's going to sell. Now, in my honest opinion, I don't really think it matters how the economy is. There's always going to be ups and downs. So say the coronavirus really had a negative impact on things, and the housing market was still slow right now and not recovering. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't get into this if this is something that you want to do, because whether it's the and who knows, maybe that'll happen this fall. Whether it's the coronavirus, whether it's just the housing market itself. I mean, we had our last crash back in between, we'll say, 2006 and 2008. And, things recovered from there. We started our home building business in 2010, where things were still down at the bottom of the barrel. And we did well because there was need for what we provided. So of course, there weren't as many people out there looking to build a home as there are right now in today's market, but there's still always going to be people out there who need to build a home. There's always going to be a need for that. So if you can differentiate yourself and offer, things that are different from the other builders, like us, for example, we specialized in custom. We started our home building business by building one spec home, and we used that as our model home. And it wasn't a model that we could just keep and sit on for a 6 months or a year. We needed to sell that home as soon as it was done, because we needed, that was our business. That was our only, we worked for another home builder prior to that pretty much dissolved all of the positions that were there. So this was it. This wasn't like it was a side gig for us. It was sink or swim. So as soon as that spec home was done and able to sell, we sold it. And rewind a second, we actually had it for sale the entire time it was being built. And this particular home sold when it was in the stage of, I think we were just starting to drywall it. And that's when I actually met a couple over at the home, because we did have it listed on the MLS. We met at the home. I walked them through the house. I explained to them, what was going to be here and there, and the types of finishes that we were going to be doing. And at that point, they decided to purchase the house. Now, it was still early enough in the process that they were able to pick their own paint colors and some of the other things in the house, which was really nice. It got them involved in the building process. They were able to take ownership of it even before they took ownership of it. So, that's something that you can offer as well. If you're building a spec home and somebody buys it while it's being framed up, there's certain things that they can do to customize it to, to make it more of their home. Things that haven't been ordered yet, countertops, light fixtures, paint colors. So, those are some things that you can do while you're building the spec home. But there's always going to be ups and downs in the market. And when we came into the market, there was a need for what we were providing. We were providing, our price wasn't the lowest, but we were more concerned about the quality of the home, and it not being a home or a floor plan that was being built a bunch of times out there. It was a completely, different and new design, so that when people walked through the house, they realized that. One of the biggest things that this home had that made it different from all of the other homes out there, and now this is something that I see all of the time, but I remember back when we started our home building business, we were the first ones in our market to have this in one of our spec and model homes. And that was having a doorway from the master bedroom walk-in closet leading into the laundry room. And the reason that people really like that is because it's convenient for doing your laundry. All of your clothes is, they're in the master bedroom closet, so you can easily just take them and bring them into the laundry room. People like the fact that, you could walk in through the garage and you're in that back hallway, which is right next to the mudroom, and you can come into your room that way as well. So it was something that really made us stand out. And the homes that we built, we used a little bit higher quality materials and building methods than some of the other builders that were out there. And again, we didn't just take a basic floor plan and put it out there. We customized the home. So that's where we really took control of the custom home building niche in our market, because there wasn't anybody there to do that. So even back when things were slower, there was a need for a custom home builder. And some of the other home builders that were in the area, they would do, a little bit of custom, but when clients went to meet with them or talk with them, they could get the sense that it wasn't something that they specialized in or wanted to do. Now, we embraced it and said that this is what we specialize in, this is what we love doing. So now that market, even though it was a small one, it was enough to get us going. So that was the thing that made us different. So it just goes to show that even in a down market, you can get yourself established. Now, yeah, it is definitely a little bit more of a risk, but we were able to do it. And if you can get yourself established and started up during a bad market, you're good. You know that when times are good, you're going to do excellent. And when times kind of come down a little bit again, you know how to survive through that. And you're definitely going to make it through that because that's how you built yourself up in the beginning. So even though we could have had a continued bad housing market beyond the 6 weeks that we had, which was really nothing. It did not really make an impact in our real estate market. But say that continued through, we wouldn't have stopped building spec houses. You know, maybe we would have only done 1 or 2 at a time, but and maybe with the customer homes, we wouldn't have had as many people coming in, but still enough to keep us going. So once you get established as a builder and you've got your reputation down, even when things are bad, you're still gonna get clients there. So if you can keep yourself, you know, lean, don't start a business and then go out and hire a bunch of people and buy a bunch of equipment and, you know, buy yourself a company truck. Stay lean for as long as you can. The only reason that you should be, you know, adding to your payroll, increasing to your overhead is if you're at a point where you want to, you know, go to the next step and you need help in order to do that. You know, maybe now you're at the level where if you want to start building more homes, you personally can't be out there expediting anymore. You're going to need to hire an expediter, and you yourself, you're the one that's going to focus on finding the lot, putting the floor plans together, you know, building the company and doing the sales. You know, when you're first starting off as a business, you're going to be the lone salesperson. So basically what I'm saying is any time is a good time to become a home builder. I know from my experience in our market that if you're a good home builder, you know, you've got a good reputation, you're honest, you're ethical, you do a good job, chances are you're not going to go out of business. The builders that are in our area, especially the staple builders, have been here for, you know, 30, 40, 50 years. And it's because, you know, I may think that they don't build as quality of a home as we do, and they may not, because again, that's what we specialize in. And some of these other builders are more about the, not mass production, but more about the higher volume numbers and, you know, not being custom and trying to make a little bit more on each home by using lesser expensive materials. And there's nothing wrong with that. When you're first starting off as a builder, you need to pick your path, and then that's the route that you need to go with it. But they are all good people that run these building companies. They're honest. You know, I know these people. They belong to our local home builders association. You know, they're not out there looking to screw people over, because if you do that, this is all a long-term game. Anything that you do, you have to have the long-term in mind. If you are out there just for yourself, and if something comes up on the first house that you're building, and you know, it's an expense issue, and you've got the choice to stick it to the customer even though they don't know what's coming, wasn't something that was foresought by you or them, or you've got the choice to eat it, I would recommend making the choice to eat it, because that is going to, you know, you're probably going to have a better, you know, build relationship with that client. They're going to have a better experience. And in the beginning, you need word of mouth. You need them to spread the word. So you want to do everything that you can within reason to keep them happy. But any time is a good time to become a home building business, because as long as you do a good job, you'll be there for the long haul. If you do it properly, if you budget properly, if you don't get, you know, foolish with things that you're doing, if you don't extend past what you should be doing, if you do it properly, and that's what my videos are all about, is telling you how to do it properly and showing you different ways to do it, you should be good. You should be able to, you know, carve out a niche in your market and succeed at that. And if you do that, it's good long-term. It's a business that you can hand down to your kids. It's your own business. You know, you're in control of things. And I've talked in the past in videos about how great it is to be able to have the freedom to you know, have your own schedule. So I really encourage you to start as a home builder. You start off by building that first spec home, and then you build from there. Anytime is a good time to start in this business, as long as you do it right. All right, well, I appreciate your time, If you found this video helpful, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you are into this, and hit the bell for notifications. Once again, this is Jason Lawrence. Have a great rest of the day, and God bless.